Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. So today is the day when I'm finally sharing my thoughts on the inspiration of Vanilla Royale from RiiFFS that I was talking about in some previous videos of mine. I have here Angelique Extrait de Vanilla from RiiFFS. I will let you know how this fragrance smells like, how it develops. I will briefly compare it to the version from Kayali because I already have it in my collection, and it's one of the fragrances that I love the most, you guys. That fragrance is in my top 10 for life. I resonate with that DNA, like I love it like there's no tomorrow. I don't know, I cannot really explain why I love it so much, but I just have clicked with that fragrance in such a beautiful way, and it's the type of fragrance that I always want to have it in my collection forever. And also, besides comparing it briefly to the version from Kayali, I also want to briefly, let's just say, compare it a little bit to another inspiration that I have in my collection. This time the inspiration is from Paris Corner. It's the December Vanilla that, again, if you have been watching my channel for a while, you know I have already reviewed that fragrance. I've compared it to the OG Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli, and that fragrance, December Vanilla from Paris Corner, it's a fragrance that I love as well, and then I've recommended it a lot throughout my videos. So let me just show you the presentation for Angelique Extrait de Vanilla, and then let me tell you how this fragrance smells like. So you saw the beautiful presentation. I really love how this bottle looks, you guys, but then again, I'm a sucker for anything with black and gold. I genuinely feel like black and gold is a match made in heaven. Like when you have a bottle that's black with gold details or gold accents, it just looks so expensive, so luxurious. I just love this pairing. But let me just spray this fragrance. Let me do 2 sprays. I will add the notes for the fragrance here on the screen, and let me tell you how it smells like. So you guys, this fragrance opens up with a boozy accord. I get the rum right from the opening, but the rum to me, if let's just say in December Vanilla, the rum in the opening smelled like a rum essence that felt very flavored, very rich, pretty dark, but it's that type of rum essence that's used for baking purposes. To me, the rum here is the rum that you drink. It's like a very boozy type of rum accord, you know, it's not that very flavored rum. Maybe this boozy quality is accentuated because of the alcoholic facet in the opening, or maybe it's just the way the rum accord is done here that is definitely much more boozy. So I smell a lot of the rum. And right behind this rum, you guys, I get that trio that's emblematic to Vanilla Royale. I get the patchouli. The patchouli feels, it feels dark, it feels deep, it feels mysterious, quite earthy, you guys. It feels green and dark and aromatic for sure, but it also has an earthy facet that's pretty accentuated, and paired with that gentle rich woody accord in the opening, I feel like the earthy facet is accentuated even more. So like I've said, you have the patchouli, you have that rich woody facet that, even though it's not one of the most dominant facets that I get in this fragrance, but it's still present, and it adds lots of darkness, of depth, of richness to the fragrance. I have to say, this fragrance right from the opening, like from the first moment I applied on my skin, it feels pretty decadent, pretty, like a pretty statement fragrance, and you know I have a soft spot for this type of fragrances. And then I get that beautiful raw balsamic touch, you guys, that again, guys, it gets me every time. Like this DNA, the more I smell it, the more I fall in love with it. And I don't know how that's possible because I already loved the fragrance so much from the beginning, you guys. But every time I smell it, I cannot help but think how beautiful the patchouli with that rich woody facet, with the balsamic accord, all work together in such a beautiful harmony to create such a dark fragrance, such a bewitching DNA, but then you have sweet and boozy accents that bring a bit of a different energy to the fragrance. So it doesn't just feel dark and mysterious and grounding and earthy and aromatic and woody, it also feels a little bit alluring, a little bit inviting because of the sweet accords. But yeah, this is how the fragrance smells like in the opening. So I get the rum, that's the main accord that I detect in the opening. Right behind the rum I get this beautiful trio, the patchouli, the woody accord, and the balsamic facet. And then right behind these facets I detect the gourmand leaning accords. Let's just say I detect a beautiful burnt, slightly burnt of a brown sugar accord, so it's slightly darker. Like the sugary accord that you have in this fragrance, it's a little bit darker than the sugary accord you have in Arabian Stonka. Like if in Arabian Stonka you smell it, or at least I smell it and I'm thinking of white sugar, when it comes to this fragrance and to the other two fragrances that I've told you, when I smell this fragrance and when I smell the sugary accord, I'm thinking of brown sugar that's in a pot on a stove, and you kind of want to melt it a little bit, but as you are just like whisking, I guess, in the pot in a way, or yeah, a little bit got burnt in a way. So you have some sugar that's melted, some sugar that's about to melt, some sugar that got stuck on the side of the pot in a way, and it's a little bit burnt. It's this type of brown sugar accord that I detect. And with the vanilla again is not a very cupcakey, girly, giggleish, playful style of vanilla. I feel like it's a vanilla accord that feels pretty serious, you guys. It feels like a pretty full-bodied vanilla. At this moment on, I cannot even say that the vanilla is one of the main accords that I detect. I'd say it's the rum, then the trio, then that caramelized brown sugar accord that's a little bit burnt. However, as the fragrance develops, let's just say that the notes and accords kind of change places a little bit, and the ratio amongst them changes a little bit as well. But yeah, this is how the fragrance smells like in the opening. Addictive, like one word for me, addictive. Safe to say I really like how this fragrance smells like. Not that I like it, I love it, you guys. It's not even a like, it's a love already. I love the OG DNA, and I think they did a beautiful job taking inspiration from the original DNA. They added their own twist, and I will tell you in a second when I get to the heart part. But in the opening, I'd say it follows a very similar direction to Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli from Kayali. The same level of depth, the same level of richness. It's just as loud, it's just as nuanced, it's just as full-bodied. So yeah, so far so good. Now let me tell you how the fragrance changes once it gets to sit a little bit on your skin. So as the fragrance develops on your skin, let's just say give it 6, 7, 10 minutes maximum. Like I've mentioned, the notes kind of change places a little bit. So I still get the rum accord, that's one of the most dominant facets. Is just now to my nose that beautiful, or those beautiful gourmand accents, they come forward, and in a way it almost feels like this beautiful boozy rum with that slightly burnt of a brown sugar accord, and with that beautiful rich full-bodied vanilla. They cover the other darker facets, so the fragrance overall feels much more warm at this moment on. The sweetness is definitely even more amplified, even though in the beginning, like when I just sprayed the fragrance on my skin, it was sweet as well. I did detect the sweetness part as well. It's just to my nose, the more it sits, the sweeter it gets, especially in the heart part. That's the sweetest part to my nose, and those beautiful, delicious gourmand elements move forward. In a way, they make the fragrance feel even more alluring, even more inviting. Same mysterious, dark, statement, sophisticated energy, but now you have somewhat of a hidden playfulness because of the sweeter facets, you know, so it doesn't just feel all serious and, you know, extremely serious and rigid and dark and like put together in a way. No, you have that hidden playfulness with something a little bit alluring in a way. So yeah, this is how the fragrance smells like in the heart. Then from the heart till the dry down, it's interesting because I also detect a facet in this fragrance that I don't detect it in the OG fragrance, and I don't know if I'm the only one that gets it. By the way, if you have tried this fragrance, I would love to hear your feedback on the fragrance, and let me know if you also detect a gentle incensey facet. I'd say, you guys, 15-20 minutes in, let's just say, is the moment when I start to detect an incensey facet that's very pronounced, you guys. And to me, this incensey facet legit smells like you are burning an incense stick, and you get that gentle, ashy, smokiness coming from the incense stick, and this is how it smells like to me. And this facet, I feel like it comes and it goes. It's not the type of accord that I get it all throughout the fragrance, even from the moment I start to detect it. Sometimes I smell it and I detect the incensey facet, sometimes I smell it and I don't detect the incensey facet, you guys. yeah, the vanilla goes even more richer, even more full-bodied. It starts to shine even more, and I feel like paired with that beautiful burnt brown sugar accord, it adds a delicious touch to the fragrance, you guys. Though keep in mind, you need to have an acquired taste to fully appreciate this fragrance, just like you need to have an acquired taste to appreciate Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. Unless you have a taste for patchouli accents in your fragrances, I do think you will struggle with this fragrance. And now you know what, I will wait until I get to the comparison part, and I will mention this aspect when I compare it to the other fragrances. But yeah, bottom line is you need to love patchouli, even though it's not the type of patchouli that you have in Black Orchid, because here you have a beautiful balsamic facet and those beautiful gourmand accents that bring a lot of dimension to the patchouli accord. So even though it feels dark, yes, green, yes, aromatic, yes, earthy, soil-like, yes, but it doesn't feel like damp soil by any means, you know. It just adds this beautiful dry earthy quality about it, paired with the woody accord, paired with the balsamic facet. This fragrance just feels all in all extremely complex. Something I appreciate about this fragrance is that it feels extremely layered and rich and full-bodied. It's not a flat fragrance. It's not the type of fragrance that feels like a diluted fragrance, you know, because I've tried some heavy fragrances that by the notes breakdown, they were supposed to feel very heavy and robust and full-bodied, but when you apply them on your skin, like the fragrance almost felt a little bit stretched too much, like a little bit too diluted, you know, like it didn't feel concentrated. And I feel like when it comes to having such a strong fragrance like this one, if, let's just say, when it comes to more airy, citrusy florals, you could stretch out the DNA a little bit more and it wouldn't come across as smelling affordable. But if you are supposed to have a fragrance that feels extremely rich and decadent from the beginning, yet the scent feels diluted, it smells cheap. And I really appreciate the fact that this one doesn't feel diluted, doesn't feel sharp, doesn't feel cheap, doesn't feel flat, doesn't feel... If anything, it just feels extremely rich and full-bodied, you guys. This is how the fragrance smells like. I told you, mysterious, bold, seductive to me. I don't know, maybe it's just for my taste, but I find this DNA extremely seductive, extremely alluring. I don't know, you guys. It's that type of fragrance that, at least for me, if I would smell it on a woman walking past me, this is a fragrance that would leave an impression on me. Now, keep in mind, of course, I have my own style and taste when it comes to fragrances, but for someone like me, if I would smell this DNA on a woman walking past me, yeah, I don't know, I would find this DNA extremely intriguing, you guys. I think intriguing is a very good word, because it is intriguing and it also has something very addicting about it. Like the more I smell it, not just this one and the OG as well, like the more I smell this DNA, like the more I want to smell it, and the more I wear it, the more I want to wear it after, you know what I mean? It's almost like I start to crave it after. Yeah, but again, this is my taste, so for you it might be a little bit of a different experience. Start with a sample, start with a decant. You know my poetry, you know what I always say when it comes to fragrances that I love a lot and I recommend them to you. I always say start with a sample, start with a decant, test it, you guys. Let me tell you a little bit about the performance of this fragrance. So I've tested this fragrance, I've actually done a full wear test, and I can tell you the following aspects. First things first, longevity on skin. So I take longevity on my skin at this moment on. Bear in mind, it's just a freshly opened bottle, you know. I'm not really sure how the fragrance will evolve once it gets a chance to sit. Maybe the performance will improve, maybe it won't. I will keep you updated anyways. You know, I've started my maceration update series here on my channel, and I will definitely mention this one in a future video as well. But I say longevity on my skin 5.5 hours maximum. Let's just say from the 5th to the 5th hour and a half mark, it goes it's like a true skin scent. Like I have to get really close to my skin to be able to pick up the fragrance. Though, you guys, what I have noticed, even though longevity is not like a crazy longevity, I'd say it's average or slightly above average. Bear in mind, on you it might last longer, or it might last around the same as it lasts on me. I was thinking to say it might last even less, but knowing me, I don't think a fragrance can last less on your skin than it does on mine, because fragrances in general on my skin, they don't last, you guys. So yeah, But what I wanted to add, so second thing, the scent itself feels extremely rich and thick and full bodied. So even though longevity is not amazing, but for the duration or for the time you are wearing this fragrance is noticeable. This creates a gorgeous, intoxicating scent bubble around you. I would do, let's just say as a reference, 10, 12, 15 sprays with this fragrance. I would even mix it. Let's just say I would spray this one on my clothes and I would spray the one from Kayali in my hair, on my skin, behind my ears, on my neck, on my chest, on my pulse point, you know. But the scent itself feels extremely rich and dense and thick, so this is definitely noticeable. Now, projection, I'm still not sure how far it projects. I'd say a good medium in the first 1 hour to 2 hours. Yeah, but I don't know, you guys, I feel like I need to test the projection a little bit more, because it's hard to properly test the projection of a fragrance if I only smell it on myself. When it comes to certain fragrances, I actually like to do 1 or 2 sprays on my partner's skin and then test the projection on him, because I know what to look after, you know what I mean? So maybe I will test a little bit more the projection, and I will give you an update projection wise when I will do the maceration video, and I will include this fragrance as well. But yeah, so I'd say performance average, slightly, not even average, slightly above average, and the scent is strong. It is strong, it is present, it does envelop you in a beautiful scent bubble, and I love this aspect about it. And I think, again, for 18 euros, 19, 20 euros even, I don't know, it's extremely affordable, you guys. You cannot go wrong with something like this. Like, if you love the DNA of Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli, and if you're looking, let's just say, for something very similar to that fragrance, try it. Now, let me briefly mention seasons, gender, everything like this, and then let me briefly mention the comparison with the other fragrances. So seasons, it's arguable. For someone like me, an all year round, but it depends on your taste. For you, if you, let's say, if you prefer to wear fragrances based on different seasons, I say this is more like autumn, winter, that type of fragrance, or even pulling into the spring season if you enjoy wearing this type of fragrances. For my taste, it's an all year round fragrance. I could wear it in summertime only at night time. I feel like this scent DNA in the summertime, during the daytime, it might be a little bit too much. So that was seasons. Gender, I'd say this is actually a unisex fragrance. Now look, would I like to smell this fragrance on my partner? No, I would not. I want to smell this fragrance on me, and I want him to smell this fragrance on me. However, as I'm smelling this fragrance, I can definitely say that because of the patchouli, the balsamic quality, and that rich woody accord, I could imagine it on men as well. I definitely could imagine it on men as well. And actually, comparing it to December Vanilla, I do think this is actually a tad more, I don't want to say masculine, because this might scare some of you, but it's not really masculine. Like, how to explain it? December Vanilla is more of a beautified version of the fragrance from Kayali, of Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. And what I mean by a beautified version, I mean that the notes and the cores that are very easy to tolerate, they were amplified, like I don't know how many times more, and the notes and the chorus that were a little bit challenging, let's just say, to the majority of people, they are still there, because that's what makes the DNA of Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli emblematic to me, and this is what makes it stand out. It's just they were dialed down a little bit, you know what I mean? Whereas in this fragrance, let's just say, I don't think they have dialed down any notes. And also you have this added incensey facet that gives it this twist in a way, but I like that the incensey facet is not too dominant, because if you are looking for an inspiration of Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli, I'd say this is closer to my nose to Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. However, if you're a woman and you are, let's just say, a little bit afraid of patchouli in your fragrances, perhaps you're not sure if you will enjoy it or not, I would actually recommend you to get December Vanilla from Paris Corner. And now let me just briefly mention the comparison part. So from smelling both of the fragrances, I can tell you the following. Both are inspirations of the DNA of Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. Did you guess, considering the video you're watching? Most likely not. So both are inspirations. However, I feel like this one from RiiFFS, it's a closer inspiration, follows the DNA a little bit more exactly than the one from December Vanilla. Then the one from Paris Corner. The one from Paris Corner, like I told you, it opens up in a little bit of a different manner. The rum, it's not that boozy alcohol rum that you drink, it's more of a rum essence type of rum. And the vanilla, it's not that really rich, full-bodied vanilla pod, balsamic leaning almost type of vanilla accord. In the opening, it's a vanilla pudding to my nose. It legit smells like vanilla pudding, like homemade vanilla pudding. Not even homemade, like the one you purchased from those like instant packets of vanilla pudding, you know? And then you just pour rum essence on top of it. And this is how the opening smells like to me. Of course, as it develops, yes, the patchouli starts to shine. Yes, you have that beautiful sugary facet. Yes, you have the balsamic accord. Yes, you have the woody accord. It's just the opening is a little bit different, but then it gets back on track, let's just say, and it follows the DNA of Vanilla Royale. So this is why I'd say to my nose, the Paris Corners version. Yeah, Paris Corners version is a beautified version of the DNA, whereas this, to me, it follows pretty much the same opening, hard, dry down. It's just, it has an added incensey facet that in a way, again, sometimes I smell it and I get it, sometimes I smell it and I don't get it. For instance, now I do not get it for some reason, but as I was testing this fragrance more and more, I have had a moment when I was wearing this fragrance, I was smelling my skin and I was getting that incensey facet extremely pronounced or extremely strong, basically. I don't think it ruins the DNA. I think it adds even more of a, what's the word? Like a statement quality about it, but it's a twist on the DNA, that incensey facet. I do not smell incense, or at least I don't remember smelling incense in the version from Kayali. Now, to just sum up my thoughts on this fragrance, I think it's a beautiful release. Definitely worth taking into account if you're a lover of Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. I think the team from RiiFFS did justice to the DNA. You guys, it smells like, when I smell it, like if someone smells this fragrance and they are familiar with the DNA of Vanilla Royale, they will think this is Vanilla Royale. This is how similar it is, you know. Which one would I recommend between this one and December Vanilla? Hard to say, you guys. Hard to say because it depends a lot what you are looking for. Look, for me, yes, December Vanilla gets to this DNA, but the opening is different. And I have to say, I appreciate what they did with the opening in that fragrance. I just say it depends. I don't know. Of course, ideally, buy decants of both, test them, see which one you resonate with it more. However, if you only want to purchase one, if you want to go a little bit on the safer route, go with December Vanilla. But keep in mind the opening is a little bit different. If you want to go to the more unapologetic route, I'd say go with Angelique Extrait de Vanilla. But keep in mind, that's my coffee again, by the way. But keep in mind, you guys, I'd say the whole scent in general, like the whole scent family, this balsamic patchouli with gourmand accent, it's an acquired taste. So if you don't enjoy December Vanilla, you will not enjoy Angelique Extrait de Vanilla, you will not enjoy Vanilla Royale. But yeah, do your research and see which one you feel like your heart chooses for you, you know. So yes, you guys, this is everything I wanted to tell you. Thank you so much for watching. If you have tried this fragrance, of course, I would love to hear your thoughts on the fragrance. Let me know if you enjoy it. Let me know how do you find it compares to December Vanilla on one hand, to Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli on the other hand. I would love to hear your feedback on the fragrance. If you have other fragrances from RiiFFS that you would like me to review, let me know. By the way, the other one from this collection, I was told it's a dupe to Yum Pistachio Gelato from Kayali. I don't know if I'm really curious to try that fragrance, but we will see, we will see. Anyways, if you have any fragrances from RiiFFS you would like me to review, let me know and I will look for some samples, decants, full bottles if they sound like my cup of tea. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, by the way, subscribe if you are not subscribed, activate the notification bell. And yeah, don't forget you can follow me on Instagram if you want. I will see you in my next video, guys. But until then, I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye, guys.